Hi, good day. This is Miss LM and we're back again for another math video, and today we're going to talk about relation. So in this video, you're going to learn the definition of relation, how are we going to illustrate it mathematically, and the different correspondence and presentation of relation in mathematics. So first, ano nga ba ang definition ng relation? It involves the association of an individual or object with another individual or object. So, associated ang isang bagay or ang isang tao sa iba pang bagay. Or, it is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected. So, yes, relation means connection. A thing's affect on or relevance to another. So, it may affect one object and another, one person to another. So, that's the relation that we already know. So, relation within the family, the friends, the opposite, gender. So, meron po yung relation. But in mathematics, paano nga ba natin gagamitin itong term na relation? And how are we going to define relation in mathematics? So, before that, let's have this pair me up activity. Here we have elements on set X. They are Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Hanoi, Bangkok. And we have here set Y with the elements Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. We're going to match the elements from the set X to the elements on our set Y. So, Manila, it is related to Philippines. Kuala Lumpur, we have Malaysia. Jakarta, we have Indonesia. How about Hanoi? Yes, it is at Vietnam. Then the last one is Bangkok. It is at Thailand. So this is for our first pair me up. Next, another set. We have here Ca, K, H, O, and Au. Then on our set Y, we have here oxygen, gold, calcium, potassium, and hydrogen. So for Ca, yes, it is related at calcium. K is for potassium, correct? H is for hydrogen. O is for oxygen. And the last one, Au is for, yes, it is for gold. So again, elements here on set X are related to the elements here on set Y. Then the last, we have here SM, Robinsons, and Glorieta for the set X. And then for the set Y, elements in Y are Henry C, Gokong Wei, and Zubel Ayala. SM is related to Henry C, correct. Robinsons is related to Gokong Wei. And the last one, Glorieta, is related to Zubel de Ayala. So, that's our first activity for this video. Next, in the first activity, how do you describe the elements in set X and set Y? Ano nga ba ang meron dito sa ating first sets of X and Y? We have here Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Hanoi, Bangkok, and then on Y, we have Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. What can you say about the elements on set X? So, they are the capital cities of the countries that are here on our set Y. So, for X, they are the elements that are the capital cities, and for Y are the countries. Next, we have here what we call this Ca, K, H, O, and Au. Yes, chemical symbols. And then for Y, we have oxygen, gold, potassium, calcium, hydrogen. So, ito naman yung ating chemical elements. Okay. So, the last one, we have SM, Robinsons, Glorieta, and then we have Henry C, Gokong Wei, Zubel Ayala. So, itong mga nasa X ay ang the leading malls in the Philippines, and the elements in Y are the owners of these leading malls. So, from this set, one element in X is paired to an element in Y. These correspondences can be written as a set of ordered pairs. So, papasok na po ulit yung ating math wherein meron tayong ordered pairs, and when we say ordered pairs, meron tayong X coordinates and Y coordinates. So, how are we going to form our previous activity as ordered pairs? So, let's have the first one, the capital cities and the countries. And then the second one, we have the chemical symbols and chemical elements. Then the third is the leading malls and the owner of the malls. So, how are we going to set that as ordered pairs? For the first one, again, ordered pair po, meron tayong X coordinates and Y coordinates. X elements and Y elements. So, in-enclose natin siya sa parentheses and then separated by comma. And since ito po ay set, so ibig sabihin, lahat ng elements in X may kapartner sa element ni Y, and then enclosed sila sa braces. So, we have here Manila and Philippines, Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia, Jakarta and Indonesia, Hanoi and Vietnam, Bangkok and Thailand. So, the first terms on each parenthesis are the X elements, and the second terms on each parenthesis are the Y elements. For the next set of ordered pairs, so again, the first terms are the chemical symbols, and then the second terms are the chemical elements. So, X elements and then the Y elements. Then, for letter C, ganun din Yun po, we have SM and Henry C, Robinsons and Gokong Wei, Glorieta and Zobel de Ayala. Again, ordered pairs po tayo. Meron tayong X and Y. Hindi man siya variables, hindi man siya numbers, hindi man siya integers, meron pa rin tayong ordered pairs. And these ordered pairs are the illustration of relation in mathematics. This is how we're going to illustrate relations when it comes to mathematics. Even though the examples are not mathematically related, since meron tayong ordered pairs na nabuo, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay relations. So that's the definition of relation in mathematics. So it is a set of ordered pairs. And these ordered pairs, again, ay related din sa isa't isa. Connected sila sa isa't isa. Ganun pa din yung meaning, but the thing is, meron tayo ngayong ordered pair. Another terms that we have to consider when it comes to relation are the domain and the range. Domain is the set of abscissa or x values. So lahat ng x elements kanina, kapag pinagsama-sama natin as a set, we are going to call that domain. And then for those y values or y elements, kapag pinagsama-sama natin sila, we are going to call that range. Let's apply these terms on the previous activity. Again, we have the relation or set of ordered pairs. So, ito po yung first natin wherein it is the relation between the capital cities and the country. So, we have this relation written in listed form. And then, for the domain, these are the set of all x values. So, alin ba yung mga x values? Again, yun po yung nasa first of each parenthesis. So, we have Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Hanoi, and Bangkok. Then, for the range, ito naman po ay ang mga terms, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand. So, again, relation po ang ating nasa unahan. It is the set of ordered pairs, and then followed by the domain. These are the set. This is the set of all x values, and for the range, this is the set of all y values. Next natin na relation from the previous activity. Again, this is the relation between the chemical symbol and chemical element. For the domain, ano-ano yung mga X elements? We have Ca, K, H, O, and Au. So, sila ang bubuo ng domain for this relation. Then, for the range, yun naman pong chemical elements itself, yun po yung ating magiging range. Calcium, potassium, hydrogen, oxygen, and gold. If mapapansin nyo po, the way na i-list natin si domain, kailangan ganun din po natin i-list itong si range because we are dealing with relation. Kailangan malinaw sa atin kung alin yung ka-pair nung ating nasa domain to the range. Once na may mabago tayong position dito kay domain, much better ito pong nasa range ay babaguhin din natin si position. Okay? So next, the last example from our activity. So we have the leading malls and the mall owners. So the domain will be the leading malls, SM, Robinsons, Glorieta. Huwag kalimutang enclose sa braces and separated by comma. Then for the range, mall owners, they are Henry C, Gokong Wei, and Zobel de Ayala. Again, relation, domain, and range. Now, there are different ways on how we can present a relation in mathematics, and some of them napakita na natin kanina. So we have mapping diagram, ordered pair, table form, graphing, and rule method. Okay, so sa mapping diagram, ito po yung meron tayong dalawang group, X and Y, and then we are going to put arrows kung saan nga related yung X element natin dun sa Y element. Ordered pair naman is the other term for listing method wherein naka-enclose po siya sa braces and then bawat ordered pair po ay nakalista doon sa set na yon. And then for table form, meron tayong column and rows, nandun yung values ng X, nandun yung values ng Y. We also have graphing. Syempre, pag graphing, may Cartesian plane tayo. Then, the rule method, ito po ay mathematical equation that describes the relation between the X values and the Y values. So, let's have another example. So, we have here the ordered pair or the listing method. We have first ordered pair, -2 and -4. Second ordered pair is -1, -2. Third ordered pair is 0, 0. Fourth ordered pair is 1 and 2, and the last ordered pair is 2 and 4. Do not forget to enclose it in braces kasi nga po, siya po ay set of ordered pair. When it comes to relation, set of ordered pairs po sila. Kaya, kailangan naka-enclose sa brace. So, we can identify here the domain, right? So, ang domain po ay lahat ng X values. So, sila po ay si -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Again, we call this as domain. Then for the range, ito naman po yung set of y values, the ordinate. So we have -4, -2, 0, 2, and 4. So again, this is an example of a relation. We listed here the domain and the range from the given relation. Next, we have the table form. Again, we have columns and rows. We can use a vertical table or horizontal table as long as identified natin kung alin ang x elements at y elements. Then, another is mapping diagram. And again, same lang po yung ating elements, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Paired with our elements in y, we have -4, -2, 0, 2, and 4. And as you can see, 1:1 sila. Then, another way on how we can present a relation is by graphing. So, we have here a Cartesian plane and same lang po ulit yung elements natin, -2 and -4, -1 and -2. We have 0, 0, 1 and 2, and then 2 and 4. So, last is the rule method. And the rule here is y is equals to 2x. Bakit kaya siya y is equals to 2x? Balik tayo dito sa table form para mas madali nating makita. So, yung rule method po ay nakikita natin sa kung papaano naging result si y gamit si x. Okay? Input natin is the x values at ang magiging output natin ay ang y values. And anong rule yung sinunod para maka-arrive tayo dito sa y? Kumbaga, ano yung pattern? If we have -2, paano siya naging -4? At the same time, si -1, paano naging -2? Si 0, naging 0. Si 1, naging +2. And then si 2, naging +4. So, sabi nga po dun sa rule, y is equals to 2x. Bakit y is equals to 2x? Kasi once na i-multiply natin si -2 by 2, the answer is 4. -1 times 2, the answer is -2. 0 times 2, 0 pa din. 1 times 2 is 2, and then 2 times 2 is equals to 4. So, that's how we form the rule in a relation. So, it's either tayo yung determine ng rule or it is also possible na ang rule ang given at tayo yung magbibigay ng set of x and set of y. Now, let us try this activity. So, first is study the set of ordered pairs in its relation and give a rule representing that relation. So, ito na nga, kagaya dito sa ating activity na ito, tayo yung gagawa ng rule. Let's have item number 1. We have here set A where the ordered pairs are Pinagbenga, Baguio, Moriones, Marinduque, Sinugboan, and Bohol. What will be the rule that we can form from this given relation? So, ano nga ba ang relationship between the X terms and Y terms? Pinagbenga, Moriones, and Sunugboan. Ano po ba sila? So, if we are going to write the rule, we have here A is equals to set of ordered pairs where the value of X sila ay ang festivals. And then, ang Y natin ay town kung saan ginaganap yung mga festival. We can form the rule by writing the description of the X elements and the Y elements related to each other. So, let's have the second item. We have Pili and Bicol, Durian and Davao, Pinakbet and Ilocos. So, how are we going to describe the relationship between these two? So, for this relation, relation B, we have the set of ordered pairs where X is delicacy nila and then yung Y po ulit is yung town or yung place kung saan doon sikat yung ating delicacy na nabanggit. Then, the last item is that we have here 4 and 1/4, 6 and 1/6, 8 and 1/8. So, kapag numbers, mas madali lang natin yan mabigyan ng rule kasi once na mahanap natin si pattern, kaya na natin siya agad isulat. So, C is the relation between the ordered pairs X and Y wherein ano po ang meron sa X? So, we have 4. And then, kung titingnan natin, naging 1/4 yung Y. Ang X ay 4, ang Y ay naging 1/4. Ang X ay 6, ang Y ay naging 1/6. Then, we have 8 ang X and then 1/8 ang Y. So, kung mapapansin nyo po, ang Y ay ang reciprocal ng X. So, if we're going to write the rule, unahin natin si Y. Y is equals to 1/X. So, again, for C, it is the set of all X and Y where y is equals to 1 over x, or the reciprocal of the x value. So that's for our test 1, and then for our test 2. So we have here, give 5 ordered pairs that satisfies each of the following relations. So tayo naman daw ngayon na magbibigay na ordered pair gamit yung given relation. So for the relation letter D, we have here the relation between the x and y such that y is equals to x plus 1. So ang gawin po natin para mas maging accurate yung sagot natin is to determine tayo ng domain natin. So, it is possible na iba yung domain na naiisip mo sa domain na naiisip ko. For me, dun muna ako sa positive integers. 5 ordered pairs daw. So, start ako sa 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, yan yung domain, 5 elements. So, for the range, ang y daw po ay 1 more than x. So, ang 0, dagdagan ko ng 1, that will be 1. 1, dagdagan ko ng 1, that will be 2. X plus 1, so 2 plus 1. So, parang nagsasubstitute po tayo ng domain natin dito sa rule. Ito po yung rule natin, x. So, nasa na tayo? 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then, 3, ang ating x, plus 1 is 4. And then, 4 plus 1 is 5. So, meron na tayong domain, meron na tayong range. Now, we can write set of ordered pairs for this relation. So, 0, ang ka-pair niya is si 1 ng ating range. Then, 1 ng x, or 1 ng domain, 2 dun sa range. Then, we have 3 dun sa domain. Then, 4 dun sa range. Meron tayong 4 sa domain. And then, 5 dun sa range. So, ito po ngayon yung ating final answer. So, itong nandito. The ordered pairs on our set D are as follows. 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung y natin mas malaki ng isa compared dun sa kapares niya na x. So, next, we have relation E. Sabi dito, meron daw tayong ordered pairs kung saan y is equals to 4 times x. So, better to do is to write down the domain na gusto nating gamitin. Again, it depends kung ano po yung integers na gusto nating gamitin. So, for me, start sa negative 5, negative 3, 0, and then 3 and 5. So, 5 po ulit yan. Then, for the range, we have to substitute the values of x here on our rule or equation. 4 times negative 5, that's negative 20. 4 times negative 3, that's negative 12. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is positive 12. And 4 times 5 is positive 20. So, meron na tayong domain, meron na tayong range. Now, we're going to write our relation. Ordered pairs natin. Negative 5, and then negative 20, then negative 3, partner niya si negative 12, then we have 0 and 0, next is positive 3, partner niya si positive 12, then we have the last one is positive 5, partner niya si positive 20. So, huwag kalimutan si parentheses at ang ating braces. Okay? So, that's for our relation E. Last po natin for this test 2 is this relation. We have here set of all x and y such that y is greater than x. So, kailangan daw mas malaki si y kesa dun sa ibibigay nating x. So, kuha ulit tayo ng domain. So, let me start with negative 2, negative 1, 1, 2, and then 3. So, madami tayong pwedeng possible na maging answer dito. Kailangan mas malaki daw ang y kesa sa x. So, kung ang x ay negative 2, kailangan mas malaki si y. At ano yung mas malaki sa negative 2? We have negative 1, 1, 0. So, any number greater than negative 2 will do. So, negative 1, anong mas malaki sa negative 1? Positive 1. And then, for 1 na positive x, pwede po yung positive 2. Then, we have 2. Pwede po yung positive 4. And then si 3, pwede rin pong ang mas malaki kay 3 ay positive 4. So, pwede pong madoble yung range natin. Since dalawang 4 yung ililist down natin sa range, pwede pong isa na lang dyan yung ating isusulat na 4. Okay? In our relation F, we have here negative 2 and negative 1. And then we have negative 1, positive 1. Then we have positive 1, positive 2. Then we have 2. And si y, we have 4. Then we have positive 3, positive 4 also. So, this will be the set F wherein y are greater than x. So, that's for our test 2. Now, for the test 3, we have to study the values in each table and complete the table. We have here E and V. E can be considered the x, and then V will be the y. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the value of x. And then, kung titingnan natin, ano nga ba yung relationship between the y and the x? So, dito po sa 2 and 8, kung mapapansin nyo po, etong 8 ay ang cube of 2. So, that means meron tayong 2 times 2 times 2 at ang sagot ay 8. Ganon din dito sa 3, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So, ganun din po yung gagawin natin dito. 4 cube is 4 times 4 times 4 and that is 64. Also sa 5, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So, if we are going to write the rule for this relation, pwede nating sabihin that y is equals to x cube. Okay? Next, so we have here P and C, yung nasa P natin, siya yung X. Yung Y natin is yung nasa C. For the X values, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the Y values, meron tayong 30, 60, and 90. So, anong nangyari kay 1? Naging 30. Kay 2, naging 60. Kay 3, naging 90. So, ano kaya ang rule natin dito? Anong pattern yung napansin nyo? Nag-multiply tayo by 30. 1 times 30 is 30. 2 times 30 is 60. 3 times 30 is 90. So, 4 times 30 is 120. And 5 times 30 is 150. So, yun yung dalawang nawawala. What do you think is the rule for this relation? Ang y daw ay equal saan? X times 30 or we can write it as 30x. And then for the last item for test 3, we have here x and y. Siya, we have 5, 7, 9, 11. So, may pattern ba? Plus 2. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 2 is 11. So, ang kasunod na natin is 13. Okay? And then, 25, 35, 45, 55. Ano kayang ginawa kay 5 at saka kay 25? Kay 7 para maging 35, kay 9 para maging 45, kay 11 para maging 55. So, what did we do kaya? So, multiply siya by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 7 times 5, 35. 9 times 5 is 45. 11 times 5 is 55. How about 13 times 5? That is 65. So, 65 yung nawawala nating term and also yung 13. 13 and 65 yung kukumpleto dun sa ating table. And what will be the rule for this relation? So, that is, ang y daw natin ay nakuha natin kapag nag-multiply tayo ng 5 sa ating x. So, this is how we write the rule for the given relation for test 3. Another thing that we have to remember when it comes to relation are the different types of correspondence between the x elements and the y elements. So, we have one-to-one relation, one-to-many relation, and many-to-one. Paano nga ba natin mapapakita itong one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one when it comes to relation? So, one-to-one means one element in x has only one pair of element in our y values. So, ganito po siya sa mapping diagram. Tandaan, may isa lamang kapares yung ating element in x dun sa ating element in y. In the listing method or ordered pair method, walang naulit sa x, wala ding naulit sa y. Next is many to one. So, here naman po, yung ating x elements or x values ay lahat sila halos naka-pair sa iisang number dito sa ating elements in y. In listing method or ordered pairs, we have 4 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 4, 1 and 4, and 0 and 4. So, many to 1 po ito. Pag 2 or more elements dito sa ating x values, nakaturo lang or nakapair lang siya sa iisang item or element sa y, many to 1 na po yun. Then, the last one is one to many. So, ito naman, kabaligtaran. Yung nag-iisang element natin dito sa ating x ay madaming kapare sa ating y elements or y values. So, like this one, we have 5. Tatlo agad yung kapair niya dito sa ating y elements. Etong 10, may dalawang kapares dito sa ating y elements. And, kung mapapansin nyo sa listed method or sa ordered pair, we have 5 and negative 10, 5 and negative 5, 5 and 0, 10 and 5, and 10 and 10. May mga nauulit po tayong x values. Ano-ano po yon? Yun po yung 5. So, tatlong beses na ulit si 5 kasi nga tatlo yung kapares ni x dito sa ating y. Then, yung 10, may dalawang beses na ulit kasi may dalawang ka-pair si 10 dun sa ating y values. So, yan naman po yung one to many. Okay? So, let's try to determine the correspondence of the following relation here. Item number 1. So, we have x and y. Tingnan po nating mabuti. Ito bang element sa x? Ilang beses ba siya may kapare sa y? So, meron tayong one item here from x na dalawang beses may kapares doon sa y. So, what do we call this? This one item has many pair with the y. So, one to many po siya. For the second item, meron tayong x and y again. Ang x po na 1 and 2, pareho silang nakaturo kay 6. So, again, dalawang term dito sa ating x, parehong ka-pair ay iisa lamang na term sa y. So, ito naman ay ang example ng many to 1. So, that's the difference between 1 to many and many to 1. Next, so we have here a table form wherein the x values, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2, are paired with negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, and 4. May naulit ba kay x? So, wala naman po. May naulit ba kay y? Wala din po. That is why the correspondence for this item is 1 to 1. Okay? So, tag-iisa lang sila ng pares. Walang naulit. So, 1 to 1 po sila. While for this table, again, kung mapapansin nyo, lahat ng nasa x ay 5 lamang. So, nag-iisa siya. 5 partner si negative 4. 5 partner si negative 2. 5 partner din si 0, si 2, at saka si 4. Isa lang itong nasa x, kapartner niya lahat ng nasa y. So, ito po ay 1 to many. Next, the last items. Here we have ordered pairs. And they are negative 1, negative 7, 1 and 0, 2 and negative 3, 0 and negative 8, 0 and 5, negative 2 and 1. So, the first thing na kailangan nyo tignan is yung x elements. Yung domain natin ang dapat natin tignan. So, meron po bang naulit na value ng x? Kasi once na may naulit na value ng x, that only means meron tayong isang value sa x or sa domain na may dalawang kapartner doon sa y. Kapag ganon, meron na tayong one-to-many correspondence. Meron po bang naulit na x value? So, kung mapapansin nyo po, naulit yung 0. So, this relation shows one-to-many correspondence. And then, the last example here, we have 5 and negative 2, 4 and negative 2, 3 and negative 2, 2 and 2, 1 and 2, 0 and 2. So, kung titingnan natin, yung x values po ba may naulit? So, wala naman po. Ano po? Pero dun sa y values natin or dun sa range, may naulit po. Negative 2, negative 2, negative 2. So, that means meron tayong more than one element of x that are paired up to one term of the y values. Okay? So, that means atin pong correspondence for this last example ay many to 1. Okay? So, that ends our video about relation. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan yung mga terms na napag-aralan natin in this video. They are relation itself, set of ordered pairs. We also have domain, set of all x values. We have the range, set of all y values. And also, there are different ways on how we can illustrate or present a relation, and they are mapping diagram, ordered pair or listing method, table form, graphing, and also by rule method. Then the last thing na na-discuss natin for this video ay ang correspondence. So, meron tayong one-to-one correspondence, one-to-many correspondence, and many-to-one. So, that's all. And I hope you learned something from this video. Huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-subscribe, at mag-share nito ang video. Bye-bye! God bless!